Our favorite sports are made from numbers. The scores that decide games, the stats that tell the story of those games, even the numbers on the fields or on the walls. But the most personal numbers are on the backs of players' jerseys. The lucky numbers like Elway's 7, the Elite 23 worn by Jordan and LeBron, Jackie Robinson's ubiquitous 42. But you can't just wear any number, no sir. There are actual restrictions to what Arabic numerals a player can put on his back, and there are some very strange reasons why. Banned jersey numbers in sports is coming up right after this. Bros, the math doesn't lie. Women absolutely prefer a man who takes care of his junk. It isn't just about the concept of personal grooming. It's about having the right tools to get the job done. That's where Manscaped comes in. If you're using old rusty plug-in clippers, do yourself a favor and throw that away. Cause you ain't getting Manscaped, you're getting Manscraped. Let me show you the proper way. Let's look at this fine piece of engineering. Do you see a cord? No. Their long-lasting battery allows you to take these waterproof clippers in the damn shower with you. That's the move right there. No cleanup. Oh, you worried about these blades rusting? Guess what, Nancy boy? They are made out of ceramic and they don't rust. And when they eventually get dull, replacing them is damn easy. You can even get replacement blades shipped to you automatically with Manscaped subscription options, where you can not only get all your blades replaced, but all your products like crop cleanser body soap, which is my favorite, sent right to your house without you getting up, lazy ass. So after this video, it's time to whack those weeds down and flex on yourself hard. Go to the link below, use my code 5points and get 20% off and free shipping. Oh, did I mention the Perfect Package 2.0 comes with all this other kick-ass stuff? Again, use the code 5points and we'll throw in the Shed travel bag and ship it to you for free. Come on, it's time to live on the top flight of dick clippers. Manscaped.com. Today we're going to find out which numbers are off limits in the major American sports, the numbers that are allowed, retired, and a certain very nice number that has been unceremoniously banned by a certain un-American sport. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most universally revered number in sports, 42. When Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers, he did it wearing a blue 42 on his back. The MLB did the right thing in 1997 and retired it across the sport, except for every April 15th, Jackie Robinson Day, when every player wears 42. Not confusing at all. The last player to don the number was Yankees closer Mariano Rivera, who was grandfathered into the rule because he wore the number prior to his retirement. Now, there are some interesting examples of weird stuff that happened when teams retired numbers. Take the Yankees, for example. Back in the 20s, their uniform numbers corresponded with the batting order. There's a big reason why their numbers 1 through 10 are retired, including 21 numbers overall. So if you're wondering why their stars have to wear bizarre numbers, just know that a bunch of old dudes who died before Aaron Judge was born didn't get to pick. Adam Ottavino, however, does sport 0 in honor of the impact he had on the Yankees last season. The same weird stuff goes for the Red Sox, who have 1, 4, 6, 8, and 9 retired. One other bizarre phenomenon in baseball numerology is the lack of single-digit numbers worn by pitchers. In fact, the only pitcher to wear a single digit to either make an All-Star game or win the Cy Young was Blake Snell in 2018, who wears number 4 for the Tampa Bay Rays. The lack of single digits might be traced back to the tradition of handing out numbers based on batting order or position, but there's no rule otherwise. The NHL holds the distinction of being the first sport to retire a jersey number when the Toronto Maple Leafs shelved Ace Bailey's number 6 in the year 1934. Bailey had gotten into a fight with Boston's Red Horner that had ended with Horner mistaking Bailey for someone else. Bailey getting knocked out cold, put in a coma, and ending his playing career. Keep it classy, Boston. Like the Yankees, there have been quite a few numbers put away in honor of team greats. In total, 7 different franchises have retired all the numbers 1 through 6. The Minnesota Wild retired the number 1 to honor their tortured fan base, which is the amount of rounds they usually give them during the playoffs. The NHL also honored their own GOAT, Wayne Gretzky, by retiring his signature number 99 in perpetuity, making them the only major sport to retire a player's number solely based on ability. Goalies used to traditionally wear number 1, but that expectation has slowly faded over time as numbers have been retired and newer generations decided that 1 just doesn't really look that tough. Looking at you, Cam Newton. There's no sport that's more restrictive on jersey numbers than in football. Numbers are divided into position groups to eliminate confusion and trickery on the field. Nick Saban, size in relief. You should know this, 1 through 19 is available to quarterbacks, kickers, and punters. Wide receivers can wear 10 through 19 and 80 through 89. Tight ends get 40 through 49 and 80 through 89. Offense and defensive linemen get 50 to 79, linebackers get 40 through 59 and 90 through 99, and running backs and defensive backs get 20 through 49. Unlike baseball and basketball, the number 0 or double zeros have been banned by the NFL. The most famous double eggs was Jim Otto, the Raiders center, but the last Agent Zero in the NFL was Detroit Lions wide receiver Ken Burrow, who hung up his 0-0 jersey in 1981. It didn't actually used to be this way. The NFL tightened its restriction on jerseys back in 1973. But before then, it was open season. Otto Graham wore number 60 as a quarterback, Night Train Lane, a cornerback, wore a receiver's number 81, and running back Marion Motley wore number 76. College and high school football are much less tight on jersey numbers. The only real restriction is that players who are numbered from 50 to 79 are ineligible to catch a forward pass unless announced eligible by the official. In fact, because college rosters are so large, multiple players sometimes have to wear the same number, just not at the same time. That's why you'll occasionally see players switch jerseys on the sideline before running onto the field. Some numbers in football are more hallowed than others. Among quarterbacks who have won the Super Bowl, 7 of them have worn number 12, the most of any other QB eligible digit. The only numbers that have never yielded a Super Bowl winning quarterback, 6, 2, and 1. In fact, there's never been a number 6 quarterback to even start a Super Bowl. Take that as you will. The closest was probably Jay Cutler in 2010, and you could hardly tell considering his jersey was covered up with a parka for most of the game. The most common number in the Pro Football Hall of Fame is 22, a number worn by 13 different enshrinees. The only numbers not represented in the hall are 43, 97, and wait for it, 69. Nope, the NFL didn't induct the owner of the greatest name and number combo in sports history, 2-time Pro Bowler number 69, Woody Peoples. Come on, Canton, do the right thing, throw us a bone. And while we're on the topic of 69ing, alright NBA, who the f do you think you are? The only American sport to ban a number based on its lewdness, based on its resemblance to a sex position, based on its ability to spread laughter and joy is the woke NBA. They banned number 69, the most sacred number on earth. Okay, that might not be an official rule that was drafted by the NBA, but explain this little coincidence. No player in NBA history has worn number 69. Nice. Sounds a little fishy, doesn't it? Let's recount the story of Dennis Rodman to get some insight on how exactly the league has shadow banned the most generous and sharing number. After the Worms' glory days grabbing rebounds for the Pistons and the Bulls, the then 38-year-old power forward signed with his hometown Dallas Mavericks during the 1999-2000 regular season, joining a team with a couple of all-timers in Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki and Shawn Bradley. Rodman, being Dennis Rodman, wanted to wear the glorious numbers 6 and 9, but the league office stepped in and His Holiness David Stern quashed the fever dream. Rodman had to settle for number 70, and for that reason, and only that reason, Rodman was unsuccessful in his Dallas tenure, getting the boot after just 13 games. Not very nice, Lord Stern. On the flip side, the most respected number in basketball, without a doubt, is the number 23. Worn by Michael Jordan, except for those couple of times he wore 12 and 45. It's synonymous with scoring, winning, and gambling debts. Obviously, the Bulls retired Jordan's number, but so in fact did one of Jordan's competitors, the Miami Heat. Pat Riley retired 23 when Jordan hung it up in 2003, citing Jordan's impact on the game. The only other notable tidbit about the NBA is that they commonly use digits 0 through 5 in their jersey numbers because it's easier for officials to give hand signals corresponding to a player's number when relaying a call to the scorer's table. But we can think of a couple other ways to illustrate their band number. Jersey numbers give the game a little more personality and a little more identity. We love when a player wears number 7 or 23 and ironically sucks, or when a player uses his number and initials to sell a fraudulent cookbook. But for some numbers, for whatever reason, you can't just wear, whether it's because of greatness, playing the wrong position, or getting sent into a coma by a masshole, a handful of numbers are off limits. And let this be a warning to the NBA. Unban 69, you freedom-hating cowards. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to check out our sponsor, Manscaped, and get 20% off your first order and free shipping. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my sequentially next video.